Hi, I'm Miriam Cates, and this is GBN Originals. The European Union's Democracy Shield initiative is a project that's raising important questions about the balance between protecting electoral integrity and respecting national sovereignty. This is a complex issue that deserves our full attention, as it has far-reaching implications for democracy across Europe. Now, the European Democracy Shield, or EUDS, is a special committee established by the European Parliament, primarily focused on combating foreign interference in domestic affairs. It's important to clarify that, contrary to some circulating claims, this body does not have the authority to annul election results in EU member states. This is a crucial point that we must keep in mind as we discuss the implications of this initiative. The committee consists of 33 MEPs. It has a one-year term that may be extended. Its main responsibilities include assessing existing and planned legislation, identifying potential loopholes that could be exploited for malicious interference in democratic processes, and suggesting ways to address these shortcomings. While these goals may sound noble on the surface, we must scrutinise how they're implemented in practice. The controversy surrounding the Democracy Shield initiative has been further intensified by the appointment of French MEP Nathalie Loiseau as the chair of the European Union Democracy Shield Committee. The manner of her appointment has been criticised by some as undemocratic and emblematic of the very issues the initiative purports to address. Loiseau, an ally of French President Emmanuel Macron, was effectively appointed to the position before a formal vote could take place. This process was denounced by other MEPs, including Virginie Giron, who claimed that Loiseau had announced her election the weekend before the actual vote was scheduled. This apparent disregard for democratic procedures in the very body tasked with protecting democracy has led to accusations of hypocrisy and further eroded trust in the initiative's intentions. Antonio Tange Correa, a candidate from the Patriots for Europe group who had hoped to contend for the position, described the process as a sham democracy.
Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private Internet Access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cybercriminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C-18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private Internet Access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GB News discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GB News to start protecting yourself digitally today.
While the EUDS aims to protect democratic processes, it has faced criticism from various quarters. Concerns have been raised about potential overreach and the risk of centralizing control over electoral processes. These are valid concerns that we must take seriously. Some MEPs have questioned how opinions expressed on social media can be classified as foreign interference, while traditional media outlets face no such scrutiny. This perceived double standard has led to calls for clearer definitions and more balanced approaches. We must ask ourselves, who decides what constitutes foreign interference? And how can we ensure that this definition isn't used to silence legitimate political discourse? There are also worries about the potential for such an initiative to be used as a tool for political gatekeeping rather than genuine protection of electoral integrity. The vague definition of what constitutes foreign interference has further fueled these concerns, with MEPs questioning whether the focus is solely on certain countries or if it extends to others as well. The EU DS is part of a larger effort by the EU to combat disinformation and foreign interference. Other initiatives include the Digital Services Act, the Artificial Intelligence Act, and the Democracy Action Plan. While these efforts are aimed at addressing real threats to our democratic systems in the digital age, we must ensure that they don't inadvertently create new problems. For instance, the Digital Services Act aims to create a safer digital space where the fundamental rights of users are protected. However, critics argue that it could lead to over-censorship and stifle free speech online. Similarly, the Artificial Intelligence Act, while aiming to ensure AI systems used in the EU are safe and respect fundamental rights, has faced criticism for potentially hampering innovation. Recent events in Romania have highlighted the complexities surrounding electoral integrity and foreign interference. In December 2024, Romania's Constitutional Court annulled the results of the first round of the presidential election. This decision was made by Romania's own judicial system, not by any EU body, which is an important distinction to make. The court's ruling came after President Klaus Iohannis declassified intelligence documents suggesting that Romania had been subjected to aggressive hybrid Russian assaults during the electoral period. These alleged attacks involved the promotion of a right-wing candidate, Călin Georgescu, across various social media platforms. At the recent Munich Security Conference, US Vice President J.D. Vance commented on the situation in Romania, saying, "You can believe it's wrong for Russia to buy social media advertisements to influence your elections. We certainly do. You can condemn it on the world stage even. But if your democracy can be destroyed with a few $100,000 of digital advertising from a foreign country, then it wasn't very strong to begin with." This case raises several important questions. How do we define and identify foreign interference in elections? What role should intelligence agencies play in electoral processes? And how do we balance the need to protect against foreign interference with the right of citizens to freely express their political views? One of the most challenging aspects of initiatives like the European Democracy Shield is defining what exactly constitutes foreign interference. In an increasingly interconnected world where information flows freely across borders, drawing clear lines between domestic and foreign interference can be incredibly difficult. For instance, MEP Fidias Panayotou has highlighted a case from Cyprus in 2004, where the US spent $60 million through USAID on a referendum for reunification. This example underscores the complex nature of foreign influence in democratic processes and raises questions about the consistency with which such influence is defined and addressed. We must also consider the role of multinational corporations, particularly tech giants, in shaping public opinion and influencing electoral outcomes. These companies often have far more resources and reach than many nation states. How do we account for their influences within the framework of foreign interference? As we grapple with these issues, we must always keep in mind the delicate balance between security and freedom. While it's crucial to protect our democratic processes from malicious interference, we must be equally vigilant in protecting our fundamental freedoms of speech and expression. Any measures taken to combat foreign interference must be proportionate, transparent, and subject to democratic oversight. We must resist the temptation to create a cure that's worse than the disease, potentially undermining the very democratic principles we're trying to protect. As the European Democracy Shield initiative moves forward, it's crucial that EU policymakers address these concerns transparently and ensure that any measures taken to protect electoral integrity do not come at the cost of the very democratic principles they aim to defend. We need clear, well-defined criteria for what constitutes foreign interference. These criteria should be developed through open, democratic processes with input from a wide range of stakeholders, including civil society organisations, academics, and tech experts. There must also be robust safeguards to prevent any potential misuse of these measures for political purposes. This includes ensuring that the bodies responsible for implementing these measures are truly independent and representative of diverse political viewpoints. The European Democracy Shield represents an attempt to address very real threats to our democratic systems in the digital age. We must engage in open and honest debates about these issues, always keeping in mind the fundamental principles of democracy that we seek to protect. Only through such rigorous scrutiny and debate can we hope to develop solutions that truly strengthen our democratic systems while preserving our essential freedoms. Thanks for watching. This is Miriam Cates, and don't forget to subscribe to the GB News YouTube channel for more.